YouTube, what it do? It's your boy TWV checking in for episode 33 of 40 years of WrestleMania with TWV, which means we are on WrestleMania 33. WrestleMania 33 was at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida, making it the third WrestleMania held in the state of Florida after 24 at the same venue and 28. The event aired on pay-per-view and live streaming and featured wrestlers from the promotion's Raw and SmackDown brand divisions. The New Day, Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods served as the hosts of the event. It was the first WrestleMania to feature Goldberg since WrestleMania 20. For the first time since WrestleMania 29 in 2013, two world championships were contested: Raw's Universal Championship and SmackDown's WWE Championship. It marked the first time that the Universal Championship, SmackDown Women's Championship, and new Cruiserweight Championship were all defended at WrestleMania. And this WrestleMania stage was amazing. This may be like top 3 to 5 WrestleMania stages. Like they had a display of a ring above the ring. They had like a huge globe at the main entrance with like a roller coaster, and it was tight. Like when certain wrestlers came out, when Christian Jericho came out, the roller coaster lights like lit up like in a circle. Like it was a beautiful stage. It was a beautiful stage. They went above and beyond with the stage. It was, for this to be 2017, this was like an all-time stage, and this WrestleMania delivered with this all-time stage. There is 5 matches I like on this WrestleMania, and we have 2 that we had to talk about because they were extremely underwhelming, and one was extremely weird. But with that, let's get into the review. So the first match that I thoroughly enjoyed was AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon in a singles match, and man, they was in there going band for band, like counter for counter. AJ Styles at one point I hit a one-armed Styles class. Shane McMahon, jumped coast to coast. AJ Styles tried to do the coast to coast, and Shane McMahon threw the trash can at him, which allowed him to go do the coast to coast on AJ Styles. Shane McMahon was diving through the announcement tables as always. Like, it was a great match. It was a 20-minute banger. Like, wasn't a 5-star. I ain't gonna, because Shane McMahon kind of can't grab, but it was a great match. It's a 4-star for sure. Definitely something I would recommend you watch. It was fun the entire time. But with that being said, let's get into the next one. The next match that I thoroughly enjoyed was Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the WWE United States Championship. And this was an excellent match as well. Jericho somewhat turned back the clock because this was 2017, so he kind of lost it by this point. But, when you got a good dancing partner in there and somebody as generational as Kevin Owens, you can find lightning in the bottle and make magic happen. Their match clocked in around 16 and a half minutes, and it was a great match as well. Like, they were in there at one point. Jericho did the walls of Jericho, and Kevin Owens had flipped out of it. And at one point, Owens tried to beat Jericho with the walls of Jericho. And the finish of the match was crazy. Kevin Owens won the match by power bombing Jericho onto the apron and then rolling him back in the ring and becoming the new United States champion. And I think this was him winning his first singles. Not singles. No, this might have been his first singles match at WrestleMania and his first championship at WrestleMania. But man, this was a great match. It's a 4-star. I'm gonna give it a 4-star. I was gonna say 3.5, but I'm gonna be generous. It was a 4-star. It was a decent match. I enjoyed it. So, when I grade, I kind of grade with a little bit of leniency a lot. So with that being said, let's get to the next one. The next match I thoroughly enjoyed was the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship, which was Bayley facing off against Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, and Sasha Banks. And man, this was a great match. This is easily a 5-star. They went out there with 13 minutes and they put on an all-time classic. Like, the women had something to prove back-to-back years in these matches, and they did not disappoint. Like, they went out there and pulled out all the stops. Of course, Nia Jax was in there. She was the biggest one, so they ganged up on her a little bit. They got her up out the way first. Then I think Sasha Banks got eliminated after that, and then it got down to Bayley and Charlotte, and they put on a banger for like 3 to 4 minutes, and Bayley won with the macho elbow. It was cool. It was great. This is when Bayley was a hugger. This was when Charlotte was still like well, she's been the queen forever. This is when Nia Jax was kind of still on the come up. Sasha Banks was still the legit boss. Like, this is before they blew up and evolved into the better versions of each of their characters. But this was a great match. You know, I'm a huge fan of women's wrestling and how far it has come since the earlier WrestleMania matches, which were dumpster fires. No disrespect to the legendary women that were in these matches, but you know, you had to walk so you could run. So they paved the way for the next generation of these incredibly talented superstars, and it is finally showing on the grandest stage of them all. So I love everything about it. So with that being said, let's get into the next one. So my match of the night and the best match on the card, in my opinion, was Seth Rollins versus Triple H in an unsanctioned match. And they was out there going band for band. Like, the whole story of it leading up is Triple H trying to destroy Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins stopped listening to the authority and started listening to the fans. And Seth Rollins coming back from an injury. That's why the match is unsanctioned, because the doctors didn't, say he could wrestle. I think he tore his ACL in his right knee. So that was, the focal point of the match, and he overcame that. And Seth Rollins was going crazy in this match. Like, this, I'm going to say it right now. This is Seth Rollins' best WrestleMania match right now to this point. Like, this joint was amazing. Triple H, same thing I said with the AJ Styles and Shane McMahon match. Triple H had lost it, but when you got a dancing partner in there, you can capture lightning in the bottle. You can turn back the clock. And Triple H went down and turned back the clock. It was a slow grind match a little bit, but it worked out for the storytelling of the match, because they were, you're working on the knee on a wrestler. That slows down the match a lot, but Seth Rollins overcame that. He picked up the pace, and it was legendary. So I loved everything about it. This is definitely a 4.5 star. Only gripe is if Triple H was maybe 7 years younger, but you can't change the time. It would have been an all-time classic if he had like 7 years of youthfulness on his side. But this is when Triple H was in his mid-40s, so beggars can't be choosers. But definitely recommend it. I loved it. It was a great match. It had me jump up a couple times, like, oh, we was getting nasty. Like, Rollins that did a superplex into a Falcon Arrow at one point. They was going band for band. Like, this was a great match. And with that being said, let's get to the next one. Next match I thoroughly enjoyed was Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg for the WWE Universal Championship. And this was a 5-minute car crash. Like, the match started out with Brock Lesnar German suplexing Goldberg 3 times. And then he jumped up and Goldberg speared him. And then he speared him again. And then Brock Lesnar rolled out the ring and like kind of went around toward the barricade. Got speared through the barricade. Then Goldberg tried to throw it back in the ring, and Goldberg speared him again, and then Brock Lesnar hit his super finisher and F5'd him like 3 times. 1, 2, 3. We have a new WWE Universal Championship. So this was just straight to the point, action packed. I don't know how Goldberg got the belt in this era, but like I said, this is when they were still teetering the line of, are we going to pass it to the next generation, or we're still going to have these older superstars come and do things. Brock was a perfect dancing partner, because Brock was down 2 matches to Goldberg. I don't know how, but this is when Vince was booking it, so I guess we were trying to recapture the Goldberg from WCW in 2017, which had been gone for 20 years damn near. But match is smooth, straight to the point. I enjoyed it. It was a 3-star for sure, but you knew what you were getting into with these two in here. It wasn't going to be a match full of work rate. We knew this was going to be smash and grab, and we're getting out of there, and that's exactly what it was. So let's get into the 2 underwhelming performances of the night. So we're going to package the underwhelming performances of the night together. So in the order of the card, we're going to start off with the Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton match, which was for the WWE Championship. And man, this match stunk because they played too much into the Bray Wyatt spooky wookie character, and it wasn't worth it. Like, they was changing the camera to above the ring, and they were showing like maggots like in the ring, like a graphic in the ring, maggots and worms, and we didn't need that. Like, this match was 10 minutes, and it felt like an eternity when they was doing dumb shit like that. Like, we didn't need that. It ruined the match completely. Wasn't a fan? Don't watch it. And the main event of this show was the Roman Reigns taking on The Undertaker in an entirely too long match, just like the previous year's match when Undertaker had the match with Shane McMahon. So, this is 23 minutes long. Roman Reigns came out on top, and it just drug on forever. Roman got beat down at first because, they were trying to push him as a super baby face, and then Roman came back and beat up Take, and boom, he's the second person to defeat Undertaker. But I did not enjoy it at all. Like, at this, man, Take should have hung it up after the CM Punk match, but he was a moneymaker. So people came to see the Taker at WrestleMania every year, and Vince ran Taker into the ground until he couldn't no more. And it was sad to kind of see, because Take she would, sometimes you can't go out on a high, man. Sometimes it didn't ruin his legacy, of course, because Undertaker is still a generational wrestler all time, in my opinion. But some of these matches on this back end of his career stunk, and it is what it is. But with that being said, it's your boy TWV checking in and checking out. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.